Welcome to Speakeasily versus the 80s. This podcast is a downhill race against the schlocky hits of our childhood. We freestyle the trashy bunny slopes of the sex farces and creature features that turned us into the maniacs we are today. I'm transmitting to you via the outer space internets from the depths of my parents' basement in the dusty Central Valley with my two comedy life partners, Klingon Vanna White and Shecky Davis Jr.
Greetings.
Greetings. I don't know if we're going to be life partners anymore after watching this movie. Oh, Lord.
Downhill is right.
Yeesh.
Okay. We're all getting divorced.
Yikes.
Big group divorce. Also with us in the basement is our special guest, Eric, a.k.a. Thee Eric Wynn of Goth Yearbook. And he happens to be the musical director of KRJF, Santa Rosa's premier independent radio station.
Hello. Thank you guys so much for having me on.
Oh,
Please don't hate me for choosing this movie.
We do.
No.
It's
okay.
We can't judge you by the lens of a 12, 13-year-old boy who watched this movie and was amazed by all of the hot dogging. So, all of our glasses are rose colored when we think about the past. So we don't hate you. We just hate this movie. So
Okay.
I forced my in-laws to watch it with me.
that's
God.
amazing. That's so
Wait,
good.
I can't believe they did it.
Like, if I'm going to be tortured, you're going to be tortured.
Like, before we get into this, I'm going to have to just unravel the name of this movie, okay?
Please do. Please, because you know what? I never saw the movie, never heard the movie. I completely was I didn't know what it was. So when I heard Hot Dog the movie, I thought it was going to be like an eating contest, a summer movie, or something with, like,
Joey Chestnuts would be there.
What was that?
Joey Chestnuts would be there. He's America's greatest hot dog eating champion.
What about the tsunami?
Or some Japanese
I
or
blank on his name right now.
some
Kobayashi?
Japanese people.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I was completely, like, I really thought that this movie was going to be completely different than what I was subjected to. So that's why I was like my expectations were, like, completely subverted with this movie. And I guess maybe because I'm black, I didn't know what hot dogging was. Because it's a ski movie and it's about skiing, and I totally hate snow. I hate snow.
Let me tell you something. Black people and Jews do not ski.
No.
So we don't get it.
Which is obvious because the villains were German, and of course they're not going to see Jews, and they could get away from them.
And yes.
They were Austrians. Yeah.
And still yes. Okay, today we're hitting the gnarly slopes of a film that's held together by twisty triples, racist stereotypes, and tits.
Lots of titties.
We're talking about 1984's Hot Dog, the movie. Eric, you chose this and we want to know why. Why? Is this goth or something?
It is
the goth hot dog?
I mean, anything is goth if you put your mind to it.
There you go.
Yeah, you like I had never seen this movie. I chose it purely because I saw the poster. I'd heard about the movie. I'd never seen it. I didn't know until this morning that hot dogging was a ski term. I thought that was... Are we allowed to curse on this?
Yes.
Yes.
Fucking talking about
It's required.
I thought when they said hot dogs, I thought that I was telling Odessa here, I thought it was just a bold title. Like, I thought it was just Dicks, like Dicks the movie.
So you picked this because Dicks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Makes sense.
I was like, it's so bold and it's going to be such a fucking romp. Like, it's going to be so fun. And like I said, I also did not know that hot dogging was a ski term. I hate the snow. I just thought that there'd be like a lot of hijinks. I thought skiing would take a real backseat to this thing. So I was in like virgin eyes as well, just like the rest of you guys.
And if you don't mind me saying this, I think this movie was made before you were born.
Just a couple years, yes.
Just a couple of years, oh Lord.
Every movie that's ever been made was made before I was born. Let's just say
Dude,
that.
were you born yesterday?
I have that Benjamin Buttons thing going
There you
on.
go.
I had assumed that you had picked this movie because you had watched it as it was your like fapping material when you were a teen boy.
It would have been. I would have like definitely hot dogged out to this movie as a young boy. That's why I chose it, because just the aesthetic of like the movie poster and like the Google images of it. It totally reminded me of like the kind of movie I would have found on the USA Network back in the early 90s, like late at night. Yeah, Up All Night and all that.
With Rhonda Shear.
I thought it just gave me that kind of vibes. I didn't realize watching it that it gave me I don't even know, like no vibes. It was a bad movie. I'm just gonna throw it out there. Like,
so your hot dog didn't come out at any point during watching the movie?
I didn't say that.
There were so many titties though.
Kramer versus Kramer. This movie, any movie.
Kramer versus Kramer.
Any movie I can find an excuse to whip out the hot dog, but this one took a little bit more trying. We should get into it though. I mean, how do we do this? Do we talk about the plot basically? Or?
Yeah, we can talk about the plot. It's a good place to start.
It stars a young man, a gentleman named Harkin. I believe that's the name. Yeah, Harkin, thank you for pulling that up. Who basically is going to Squaw Valley to compete in some freestyle skiing competition. That's like the bare basic bones. And from there, when I was watching it, it just felt like what some like fucking loser's idea of like a penthouse letter would be. Like it all felt so fantastical. Like, oh, I was driving there and there was this girl hitchhiking. I picked her up. She said she was 18, but I knew she was 17. Like we went to a wet t-shirt concert. Everything about it feels like it's actually some guy making it up. None of this happened. Harkin's actually like in his 60s, overweight, like just a fever dream of like what he wanted his life to be, but none of this ever actually happened.
I love this frame.
Yeah.
It's just a fever dream.
It's like,
I love that.
He's telling it's like a coworker who's 20 who fucking hates this guy. He's like, oh, there goes Harkin again about his famous Squaw Valley trip.
Right.
And in reality, like none of this happened. I do want to point out actually, yeah, the girl he picks up, his girlfriend, she's 17, right?
She says, I'm 17 going on
18 in April.
18 in April.
Yeah,
so it was 18 in April. I thought you said I'm 18 and like able, like he's ready to fuck. And I was like, okay.
No, this movie's set, for all we know, it's May, so it could be like a long while to 18 too. And
yeah.
And she immediately, so he picks her up. Our young Harkins coming from Idaho to go out to California, picks up this girl who's sort of like the love interest throughout the movie. And they have to stay the night at a hotel, sleazy little joint. And already that's when you know what kind of movie you're getting yourself into, because the innkeeper of sorts comes out from a hot tub completely topless.
What
naked
was
completely
there?
naked.
Oh my God, we saw Bush and everything. I was like, what are you doing?
I looked her up. She was this movie stars several playmates of the year.
That's why this movie exists.
Yeah, exactly right. She was one from 1971.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she was rocking
71,
it.
And this is 84.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I did the math.
Whoa, her measurements were 36, 22.5, 34. And she was 5'7". She had a 22 and a half inch waist.
Damn.
Fuck, shit,
You worked that.
fuck.
You worked that up fast.
Sharon Clark.
So they get to this hotel, they pass out,
but she was all sad though, because she was like, you didn't try the thing.
She comes off very sassy. She's like, don't you think that there's gonna be no fucking happening in this hotel room, like saying all sorts of shit like that. But then the very next day when they go to leave, she's like, how come you didn't fuck me? Basically.
Right. It's all part of the male fantasy there too, because like no.
Yeah, no means no, but yes.
Yeah.
Well, and that again goes into why I think this has to be like Harkin is making this all up, because like that's the ultimate dream. Like when you're telling this story to your guy friends, you're like, yeah, she was fucking begging for it, and I said no. Like
it's like Baby It's Cold Outside the movie.
Oh.
Oh wow. Wow.
Should we sing that right now?
Please do.
Take out your schlong, baby, it's cold outside.
Did you guys hear John Candy? Not John Candy, I'm sorry. John Legend. I just read this on the news the other day.
I always get them confused
I did too.
Yeah.
So close.
John Legend apparently wants to like take back that song.
Take it back?
Like he said
some of the lyrics and
yeah. He loves the song and he wants to make it work in like a 2019 lens. It's another
okay.
We're just like, I'm good for John Legend for trying to go out there and rewrite.
I hope it's going to be like the woman saying like, "You can't leave. You're stuck
They
here."
reverse it.
Yeah.
You're stuck here, bitch.
Take out your hot dog.
You're locked to the fireplace.
Take out your titties.
My tits in your face.
Look at it.
Look at my boobs right now.
Oh, I do want to point out too, the girl, the maid love interest, Sunny is her name. I didn't know that her name was Sunny until way later in the movie when the villain, Rudy Garmish, aka Garshit, there's a scene, I'm kind of jumping ahead here, but there's a scene where he starts going like, I had Sunny side up,
That's
I
right.
had Sunny side down. He's like talking about how like he ate her eggs out basically. And that was the first time I didn't even know that her name was Sunny. He started doing that like in his fucking thick accent. I was like, what the fuck is this guy talking
That's
about?
the worst accent ever attempted.
But I just now found out that her name was Sunny, so now I get that joke.
Yeah, they don't really use her name a whole lot.
They don't. She
So-
doesn't even. I'm looking at the cast list right now, and a lot of the main characters get last names, but she does not. She is just merely Tracy Smith as Sunny.
You don't need a last name. She's awesome.
She's very sassy. So
Like Cher.
yeah, exactly right. They arrive to Squaw Valley, and that's when we get our first real meaty portion of the film, which is the infamous wet t-shirt contest.
Oh my
scene.
god, it's so random.
Oh, actually, before that, they get their hotel room,
Yeah.
which again plays into this whole like penthouse letter vibe because it's like the lover's room. It has the heart-shaped hot tub jacuzzi
Correct.
that they can't quite figure out how to turn on. They have a cute little meet cute moment there where they get a little wet. And then, of course, the waterbed.
The waterbed is also heart-shaped.
Yeah, everything's a little heart-shaped. They're destined for love, these two.
And
You know
T-
what?
Yeah, that's right. I forgot the TV just plays porn and like he turns it off like, all right, enough of these like silly things. But then she turns it back on like Sunny's into it.
She's into it. She's 17. She's sassy. She watches porn.
So
Good for her.
like, yeah, another male fantasy, but it was totally funny. And the thing that room just kept revealing more and more and more. There was the shag carpet that was on the floor, and shag carpet that was on all the built-ins that the bed and the tub was in, and then the shag carpet went up the walls.
Yep.
Yeah.
Could you
Klingon
imagine?
always notices these great little nuances.
No, I saw that too. I was like, it's the whole room. You could just like, if you were on ecstasy, it'd be like your dream room because you could just
right.
like rub everything in there. And it has, I think, like behind the bed, like the headboard was like a tropical sunset thing or something, right?
Yeah, there's a sunset
Yeah.
on the wall.
I don't know. It's like the CSI training room. It's like,
Well,
everyone, bring out your black lights.
Yeah, there's a lot of Harkin in that room since then.
Yeah.
Well, Harkin has stayed there for sure. But yeah, so we get to, after they check in, we get to the infamous wet t-shirt contest. There's a lot to unpack in that scene. First of all,
so much.
the guy is hiding a giant maglite flashlight in his pants. That guy, by the way, is Sandy Hackett, who's Buddy Hackett's son.
That is so fucking interesting.
Yeah. Isn't that
Buddy
crazy?
Hackett's son.
So the MC for the night, whenever I watch these old movies, I try to think like, who would I probably be cast as? Just like, not necessarily look like, but like spiritually, who are they gonna like look at me and be like, you're him? I probably would be the MC for this. I feel like they would just be like, you look kind of sleazy and fucked up. Like
Chester the molester.
Pull a flashlight out of your pants and let's get this going.
Yeah, right.
That's what his name was, Chester the molester.
Was it really?
Yeah. He introduced himself as Chester the molester.
Oh, he did?
Oh my god!
Oh my god! That which explains why he sucked the water out of that girl's t-shirt.
Titties, right? And I was like, what are you
I was
doing?
just like, gross.
That guy is out of fucking control. He definitely, if he's a real guy, he is in jail
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure. Within like 3 years of like that evening.
Just putting his face on, strangers' tits in general.
The way he goes about it, just like literally taking the flashlight and be like, all right, who's got fucking tits out here? Let's bring it on out stage.
Yeah.
And like every single table, it's like a girl who's kind of like looking at her guy like, oh, should I?
Yeah,
So they were
like everybody would be lining up to do that.
But they were so aggressive, though. I was like,
They
Jesus.
were,
Yeah.
like, one guy literally picks a girl up and throws her over his shoulder, and then just like takes her up to the stage. Like, nah, you're doing this.
Right. Yeah, that's that kind of caveman shit we love, right? Klingon?
Yeah, she's still crying to this day.
Totally.
I feel her. I understand her because that's what Klingon does to me all the time.
She throw you over my shoulder, throw you up on stage.
But it's a wet butt T-shirt. It's a wet butt contest.
Wait, what?
Butt contest.
No,
Yeah.
it's okay.
Panties.
We'll look at your boobs. It's a wet boob contest.
I was just like, oh, so it's like, 30 degrees or below outside, and everybody's just gonna get their clothes all wet.
Yeah, and I hope they brought a change of clothing. That's all I could think about.
The part that got me for sure was when he just like straight sucked the water off the girls.
Yeah.
That was just so fucking aggro. Like, not just as like a movie, but I'm like, did he just make that choice as an actor
He
in that
probably
moment? Like,
did.
I don't think that girl was prepared for that. I think like he made a choice. Like, he was really in character. Like, I don't know, Daniel Day-Lewis up there just kind of deciding like this is what Chester the Molester would do.
Daniel Day-Lewis is Chester the Molester.
I would love to see Daniel Day-Lewis redo this film, play all the characters.
Yes.
Kind of like Eddie Murphy in The Night Professors, playing all the characters sort of
God.
situation.
I enjoyed the guys though. I thought there was a lot of like bikers, and I'm like, who are these people? Because everyone else in the movie did not look like those people. So it's like, did they have to like go in there and show this? Because those extras were looking crazy.
So apparently, I did a lot of research in preparation
God
for this
someone
podcast. Apparently, they went up to, like, the production team went up to Squaw Valley, and everyone there is just an extra that they picked from, like, the resort or from the town. Like,
they're townies.
Yeah, everyone
No
there is
wonder.
just townies. Apparently, like, all those parties that they were showing, like, there was no one patrolling it. Like, everyone was getting fucked up and drinking, and apparently they like got slapped with a few fines from the city and stuff like that because they were just doing everything very guerrilla style.
Oh, cool.
Which I kind of like, because you see the same people pop up throughout the movie.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, scenes.
So that wet T-shirt contest, it was actually modeled after a real T-shirt contest. And I'm just reading because I was reading the Outside magazine, and they're like, oh, this is the real story between Hot Dog the movie. And so the real wet T-shirt contest happened in Park City, Utah at the World Cup in 1974. And so they're in Mormontown, and they said it degenerated into a complete orgy on stage. It was crazy. 4 or 5 guys blowing saxophones, stripped to their waist, playing weird spandex pants, and the whole movie version was tame compared to what really happened.
Oh, God.
And it was all local.
Yeah, what? How many saxophones?
Yeah, did you say 5 saxophones?
4 or 5 guys blowing saxophones.
That's a lot of saxophones. That's like a marching.
Too many.
band.
Yeah.
No wonder it devolved into an orgy.
That's Roland Kurt's like fantasy right there. That means saxophones on stage. That's a jazz joke that only 2 people might enjoy.
Woo! Talk about freestyle.
Yeah.
All right.
They were hot dogging.
Yeah.
They were hot dogging, man, and it was great.
Yeah, and the women take their shirts off and they're dancing.
But then everyone started showing their titties except for Sunny, because she a good girl.
So I thought that all of those were models, but all of those girls were all locals from a casting call doing a real wet T-shirt contest.
Dude.
Wow.
So they had to live in that city after that.
Yeah, what do you say when you're...
Explains why the one girl, I don't know, some of the girls were just like, I'm keeping my shirt on.
I enjoy the band that was playing too. I like the lead singer dude who kind of looks like a little micro version of James Hetfield. He had like a handlebar mustache and a mullet. I know pops up a lot in the movie in crowd scenes. I was like, I fuck with that guy. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
He's very cool. But this, of course, leads into the next day, which is when we're introduced to the quote unquote Rat Pack, all the hooligans of the mountain. Well, who do we have? We had Dan, Yamamoto, and of course,
Yes, the one minority in the group. They had to have their minority quota.
The Japanese guy.
Yeah, Yamamoto, who apparently that actor actually didn't know how to speak Japanese. He just went into the
That's awesome.
mission and pretended. And he said, he was like, they're just a bunch of white dudes. Like they're not going to know the difference. Yeah. And he had the whole like cast and crew convinced for like several weeks of shooting that he actually knew how to speak Japanese.
I love that. Yep. Oh my God.
That's fantastic. At least he got that.
You know?
It's like, fuck these white people.
Yeah, and that guy is actually still working to this day. He played Randall Park's father in the Always Be My Maybe movie.
Oh, cool.
The Netflix movie that's set here in San Francisco.
That's right.
So that guy's still working, doing his thing.
That's awesome.
Still fooling people with that Japanese, supposedly. Yeah, I feel so bad. If you go to his IMDb credits, it's fucked up because it's like Korean store operator or proprietor, Chinese mob boss. Like they just like cherry pick this guy for whatever.
Yeah, you're Asian. You get to play the Asian guy, and that's how it is in Hollywood.
Very much so. And then of course we meet. This will be the most hotly debated, controversial person in the whole movie, which is Squirrel.
Squirrel.
I did not like him.
Yes. Squirrel Murphy.
Squirrel. Me and Odessa were kind of debating before we started, which is Squirrel a rapist or is he differently
abled?
Yeah.
He might be on the spectrum, is that what you're trying to say?
Retard is what I'm trying to say.
No.
He that scene in the gondola when he's applying the SPF is so maddening to me. Like that part where he's just like he's literally putting a whole dollop like on his face.
Zinc oxide.
Yeah.
And the continuity doesn't work. It's all over his face in different places and different shots, and
then it's gone at the end when they start fucking, and I'm like, what? I don't know.
That and the noises he was making in that gondola scene
was scary.
Yeah, his like blowjob noises were very much like
I don't remember. Oh, he was making sounds.
It was,
but
gross.
they were weird.
Yeah, they were
like
He's definitely differently abled.
I have to think so, right?
Yeah, there's a deficiency somewhere, or some sort of like sexual maniac potential.
We're gonna get hate letters from the differently abled.
Don't worry, they're not listening. No one is.
He was so bad though, because he was like when they gave that alcohol to the girl, and he was like, "Yes, that's someone I could have sex with or something." Or what did he say?
Yeah, like that's something I could take advantage of.
Yeah, take advantage of. And I'm like, what?
That scene was a bummer.
And like, why would she even drink that? Like, they called it a leg spreader, and they basically put like scotch, like a really nice scotch with crap vodka and some brandy and something else, and it was just like, that just sounds like vomit in the glass.
All the alcohols in one cup, and she drank it.
That's what we used to call suicide.
Suicide, right? All the sodas.
And
oh my God, all the sodas.
Suicide Squirrel gave me my biggest laugh though in the whole movie. There's a scene where Harkin is doing one of their dumb little competitions, and Squirrel, they do like a reaction shot of Squirrel who goes, "Awesome, good," and it's so like completely out of nowhere. It caught me off by surprise. It's the worst line reading I've ever heard in my entire life, and it's so good.
Yeah, why do they cut that? It's a cut in, so like, why did they put that there? You know,
they splice it in and completely. So the movie has a lot of that, like a lot of reaction shots of like Harkin's friends looking on, like almost like arousingly, like especially Dan. There's a lot of shots where Dan's watching Harkin ski, and Dan looks like very like really into it, like.
They've all got big old hot dogs for him.
Yeah.
Because remember, Dan was the one that had that was past his prime.
Yeah, he was a little bit.
He's like 30 or whatever. You know, they're like, nope, you're out of here.
Shannon. We have Shannon Tweed, who plays the what was her name, Sylvia Fonda, who is supposedly like the mountain cougar, quote unquote.
Yeah.
She was like 27 when they filmed this.
That's
so
right.
old.
But she kind of looks
She did have
like a
mature...
cougar. She looked very mature in the movie, and it might be just because everyone else was 20.
Yeah.
So, or she had kind of a hard life. I don't know. She is married to
Gene Simmons, right?
Gene Simmons.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I guess they got together after this movie, so we can't blame him.
We can definitely blame her for making that life decision, though.
Yeah, that's for sure.
She's really gorgeous.
She
really
is. She's
just beautiful.
Yeah.
She still is, in my opinion. But like
Yeah.
in this movie, any scene that she's in, I was honestly fucking in awe. I was awestruck. at
Right.
How
And
beautiful she was.
She's someone who should definitely be naked all the time.
She.
Wow. Really?
My favorite scene too might have been the confrontation between her and Sonny.
That was
Yeah,
so
like Sonny was
fun.
such a dick to her.
Yes.
And Sonny it was like the overacting award probably goes to Sonny in that moment. Like she's jutting out her like chin, her lower teeth, and everything she says is like almost Little Rascals-y in the presentation. It's like, you stop it, you snotty ass fucking twat. But it's like the way she goes about is like bratty little kid. Like,
Yeah, and really like she's just trying to help, man. She's just like, hey, I'll help you up. Bend your knees. Like she's giving her tips.
She
Yeah,
is
I would've been like-
she's offering like a fun little three-way, and like every single thing that she says, Sonny's just like, go fuck yourself.
I totally was like, I told Odessa when we were watching it, I was like this movie would become like my favorite movie if they teamed up and beat the shit out of all the guys,
Yeah.
But
Awesome.
that was not going to happen. This is
No.
I'm also annoyed that Sonny in that scene, because she's pissed off at Harkin for having slept with, I know I'm kind of jumping
Sylvia.
all over the place, but
Yeah.
with Sylvia. And so to get back at him, or just like in defiance, she decides that she's going to go out and try to ski, because the whole movie she said she's never skied before. She's wearing fucking jeans her first time out. Did you guys catch that? She's wearing jeans when
Yeah.
she has a
Anything else.
confrontation. Like, that part's so maddening to me. I hate the snow as it is, and like going out there in jeans and falling a bunch. Like,
It's
something
being all
about that.
wet and jeety.
Yeah.
that's a white noise. Mm.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. So we have to back up.
Yeah,
so
sorry.
no. This is okay. So we covered this most of the team. Okay. So they go to this party. They go to a party at Sylvia's.
Mhm.
Sylvia seduces
Harkin.
Harkin. Thank
Remember-
you.
Sylvia has the most awesome house.
But remember, this is after Sonny and Harkin actually get together, and it was hilarious because they come back and she's wearing the shirt, right? And then this is when they meet the crazy German guy who was all like, and Harkin was just like, hey, you're awesome, I love you, and he's just like, you're stupid, and then fucking Sonny like flashes on him. I thought Sonny was about to cut a bitch. I was like,
Oh yeah, sure.
right, and so she's wearing his mother's sweater. What? And then
Oh yeah, that thing. What was that?
I don't know.
I like that sweater, actually.
She liked the grandma sweater. Anyway, so they were, and so she's like gonna defend her man, and I was like, great, the Sonny's gonna start cutting folks. See, I liked her spunk, and I liked her initiative. I was like, go on, bitch, kill these fuckers, right? But then I was like,
Oh, yeah, she's a loose cannon.
yeah, right. And then they go after that. They go back and they're in the bed, and Harkin is singing that song.
Oh yeah, that
It
song.
turns into John Denver.
Yes,
blocked that out.
Horrible
That
fucking
part
song.
was so rough. That
Oh
was
my
fucking
god!
rough.
I was like, "What the fuck is going on with this song?" And so after he sings the song, she comes out with her big old granny panties. I was like, "Girl, what are you wearing?" Right? I was like, "What is this girl wearing?" She's gonna seduce him in his mother's thingy. What the hell? It was so bizarre.
Okay,
And then
it's a sweater his mom made for him.
yes, and then she's wearing it with her panties, and I was just like, "Okay." And then
Yeah, in that moment she rocked it well.
I don't know. I was
That
like, ugh.
sweater looked like it was made out of dog fur.
You're right. I was like,
It was
You know,
Yeti.
We don't know what Harkin's mom's going through.
Yes,
it was
right.
not a good look.
We don't know the pedigree of this sweater.
It was
She
not a good
weaved
look.
it out of her own hair.
So
And she
But then,
spiraled.
Oh,
but then to talk about your it's like a fever dream that Harkin's having on his deathbed, right? It's like, and then she's like throwing himself at him, right? And he gets in the bed, pulls his takes his pants off, gets to the bed, and then fucking yawns. And she's like,
That's
oh, you're not
throwing
gonna
her
do
shit.
this to me 2 nights in a row. And I was like, oh my god. I
I actually felt kind of bad for him that moment because I thought he was actually doing like bad acting sleeping. Like I thought they were actually going to show him fall asleep for a second because I wouldn't put it past this movie just to have a cheesy thing like that. Like, yo, and good night, and start snoring. And I kind of felt bad for Sonny.
Well, he's being funny.
Yeah, he was being funny. It was all
her.
good.
Yeah.
Harkin got me.
Yeah, he got me too. I was just like, oh, he's one of those ones that like saves it for the, for the competition. Is just like, I can't.
He needed
have her.
Oh no, I knew they were gonna fuck.
That spunk loose.
Yeah,
Killing that spunk.
Competition spunk buildup.
That's a different movie.
I knew she was gonna see the hot dog.
Hot Dog Part 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
Is there one?
The bunless sequel.
No, as far as I know, no. But there was so many ski movies after this, ski sex movies.
Yeah,
it's a whole genre.
So I just want to catch everyone up because like there was like that whole scene in the bed with the and then meeting our evil Germans for the first time was just so like it was just so silly. They'll always be German to me. I don't care.
Yeah, well, I mean, what's the difference is what Shecky kept saying when we were watching it, and I was like, a lot.
Well, I think the only reason why they made them Austrian, was to like make them not German. I think that's the only reason.
I 100% agree with you actually on that because they said that the guy who wrote this movie said he based it on a German guy.
There you go.
And I honestly think that's right on the head that he just like, they're like, well, it might be a little too controversial to make him German.
Austrians were just as bad.
I'm not denying that. I just
think
when the American consciousness at that time, I think they would have just heard German. But then like that would have made it better in a way because they're like
they all wore the same uniforms.
Yes.
And they were black with the red on them.
That's a choice.
He did believe in segregation of the mountain too. He said, we get this side, we get this side, you get this middle part.
Yeah, right.
And
stay out of the way.
Yeah. And Dan kind of mocks him and says, you can have this side of my ass, that side of my ass, or whatever. You can have the middle
Go
part.
right down the middle.
Yeah, you can't have this side of my ass. You can't have that side of my ass. You can just have the one in the middle. And I was like, oh, okay.
I want to talk briefly about Dan, who plays like the head mischief maker or whatever. I feel like he, in my opinion, he was lacking in that role. Like usually there is always that one guy where it's like the main person meets like the guy who already knows all the other miscreants. And that guy usually is super charismatic and very mischievous. I feel like Dan was more just like a dad having a few goose and laughs throughout the movie.
I mean, most of his time was taken up by being an alcoholic.
Yeah.
So
a lot of drinking in that old school New York Mets hat.
Right.
But that was about all he contributed. I felt I needed more from my Dan. I feel like I did not get what I wanted from that character, which is like a truly sleazy piece of shit guy.
It was nice to see David Naughton, though.
Yeah, definitely.
Who plays Dan. And we know him from American Werewolf in London and other stuff.
The illustrious other stuff.
I can't remember right now.
I wonder if this was. I want to see when in his career did he do this?
That's a good
was
question.
It before?
I don't remember what year.
Yeah,
this came out in '84.
This is '84, but
we're doing a deep dive, an IMDb deep dive.
Yeah,
we're seeing some ads for what looks to be a Harriet Tubman movie. Andy Fair saying that's energetic and exciting.
Oh my gosh, he works so much.
He does. This is a long list.
He's a working actor, that's for sure.
I don't see.
Oh my God. American Werewolf in London, I see in 1981.
Wow.
Okay.
Then Hot Dog the movie 3 years later. Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
Oops, right. The Love Boat. Edwin Winnaker? Nice.
On the Love Boat?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Fountain of Youth / Bad Luck Cabin / Uncle Daddy.
I
want to see that.
Wow, that's another
I want to
movie.
see that episode of The Love Boat. No, it was an episode of The Love Boat called Uncle Daddy.
Oh, I thought it was a movie, and I was like, what the fuck?
That's what we're going to watch next.
I feel dirty just hearing the word Uncle Daddy.
How's that work, Uncle Daddy?
I'm your Uncle Daddy. Don't think about it.
Here's my credit card. Shut up.
Yeah.
What did
Just
you guys?
understand that
What
I'm
did
your Uncle
everyone
Daddy.
think of Rudy Garmisch?
Oof, that is a bad Austrian accent. and
He's
he
cute though.
oh
Really?
wow.
So, really? He kind of looked like Robin Williams to me at certain angles, like a really beefy, tall. Oh, that guy was like fucking. That was a big ass dude.
Oh yeah.
I give the main heroes credit for talking a lot of shit to him because I feel like that guy could have easily beat the shit out of all of them.
Right?
He could have worn them
Yeah,
as a hat.
And he had like an Austrian posse with him,
Yeah.
and they were singing victory songs. That was scary.
What do we think
Even
about
the girl.
banana pants or whatever?
Banana pants. No, that's she's on the American side.
Oh, that was the American girl.
yeah.
they had an
Yeah, she
Austrian-
was a-
remember
yeah,
the girl
she-
fight? They had their own banana
Yes.
pants. The evil
Yeah.
banana pants, and
Wait,
they got in
wasn't-
a girl fight.
I have a question though. So the girl that they gave the alcohol to, was that Banana Pants?
No, that's
No,
another.
No,
girl.
that was
She's a
another
completely different
She's a
female.
bunny.
Okay.
Oh,
they all
yeah.
kind of look the same towards the end.
That
There,
was-
so.
like banana shorts or something.
Banana flip.
Are you looking up this guy's height?
Yeah, I always do.
Okay.
John Patrick Rieger is who plays Rudy, and he was 6'2", so he is a really big dude.
He was a big dude. What
On
do we think
skis.
about his intelligence? Did you also feel like he was? Because there were certain parts where I don't know if they were just like, oh, this is what an Austrian guy would do, but like near the end, when they're like, oh yeah, you got the championship trophy, he responds by repeating exactly what they said back to him. He's just like, yes, I got the championship trophy. And he does that a couple times at the movie where he just kind of repeats back. So I was like, I don't know if they were trying to imply that this guy, because at certain parts, like, oh, he's a very suave
Yeah.
mastermind, and there was other parts where I was like, are they playing him as an idiot? I got a little confused about the trajectory of his intelligence.
I think he was just gloating.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. I think he's just sort of like trying to be the master race at all times, which is scary.
And again, it feeds into that thing where Harkin's making this whole story up because he goes to the competition and he's like, oh, and this guy, he was so fucking huge. He was 6'2". He could have beat up any of us, but we fucking got him every single time.
Right. Yeah.
He
and that.
stopped.
Oh, go ahead.
Go on. He stopped acting in 1994.
Why?
I don't know.
We should
He's
ask
like-
him.
And then he was a news anchor.
Oh,
He kind of looks like a news
yeah.
anchor.
He has the free sort of
Yeah.
thing going on with his hair.
So Sonny looks through a window and sees.
We're at the party again.
We're at the
Yeah.
park. Sonny looks through a window, sees Harkin in a hot tub with Sylvia,
But
and then she goes and like spite fucks the Austrian.
no. But remember though.
She's-
What?
Hawken was all like, because they had fucked now, and Hawken is a straight up like, I'm a virginal, straight up monogamous Austrian, kid, Hitler Youth,
whoa.
and I
What are
need
you
to.
talking about?
Wait, what?
Yeah,
I
what
don't
movie
remember
were you
this.
watching?
No. Seriously, Harkin had never had sex with anybody. He was respecting Sonny's boundaries, and he didn't have sex with anybody, right? And so
No.
once they had sex, he was all trying to he was trying to lock that shit down. He was like,
What
"Look,
Shaggy is saying is that the movie really there was a lot of pot smoking in the movie, and so to get into character to do this show, he also smoked a lot of pot.
no, I'm just saying, but look at Harkin's trajectory. Harkin was like, hey, I really want to, like, he was like, okay, so Harkin, at the beginning of the party after they fucked, Harkin caught feelings for her, and he was like, look, I want this, like, hey, do you think you should be doing that? Hey, you think you should be doing this?
Oh
And-
right, okay. So you're saying in the car ride to the party, Sonny takes a mystery pill.
Yeah, because she was like, because earlier in the film she said like something about doing
Oh.
speed, and he was like, huh, right? So remember,
Yes, she's into pills.
yeah, and so he was like, should you be taking that? And so she got all defensive and was like, fuck you, man, which is totally her right. But I think,
I do what I want.
yeah, I'm gonna do what I want. If I want to fucking take pills, I'm gonna take pills, motherfucker. So I was like, okay, wow, Sonny's cool, right? And so Sonny went off and started doing her own thing, and then Sylvia, the cougar that she is, attacked him. So
Ah!
Yeah, easy prey.
but I don't understand, so Hawken is like I think he was asserting too much, like, hey, we're together now because we fucked once, and she's like, fuck no, right? Which is totally fine. But then she caught mad feelings for him when she saw that he was fucking, but they're not together.
She got jealous.
Yeah.
She got jealous, so she went into a sauna and had spiteful knuckle drilling action going on.
But you could tell that she was so not into it, though. Did you notice that?
Well, okay, so that's why I got confused, because she walks in there, and maybe that's why there's like drugs going on or something like that, because there is like a really dazed feel about her.
Yeah.
I don't know if they imply that she was kind of like not in her right state of mind. I don't think they really gave that shit that much of a shit about.
They didn't develop that very much, did they? Okay.
I totally forgot about the pill. It could have been a lewd.
Let's say it was a lewd. Okay.
You just see that his hand's going for some scrambled eggs and fade to black.
I felt so weird for her. I was like, girl, you could do so much better.
Yeah, and this is the same guy she called a Nazi the night before.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Maybe he's into it. He's like, I hate
fucking.
He probably is. He's like, guess what my father did in the war?
Wow.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jesus.
My father is currently in, in
Ecuador.
Yes, in Ecuador.
Living his life out in South America.
He now has a plantation in Argentina.
And he has a plantation.
It's all about plantains with this guy.
A plantation.
Plantation.
All right, so she sleeps with the Nazi.
But she totally was not into it. That's the thing that was so fucking weird. Like, I was like, you don't have to do this, because she couldn't see. She sat down. He spoke in that fucking thing, like Dracula, like a fucked up Dracula, scared the shit out of her. And then she stayed there, and I'm like, girl. And then he started massaging her, and it was like he literally put some German/Austrian voodoo on her, and she was like, all right, let's do this. And I was like, really?
It always starts with the back
German-Austrian voodoo.
The old Aryan charm.
And of course,
the old Aryan back rub.
It was scary.
Other side of the premises is Harkin having sex with Shan Tweed without the help of his acoustic guitar. So good for him. True.
He didn't need it with her.
The other thing I want to point out is Sonny's walking around the premises with a towel, and it's just kind of peering into windows, and there was something weird about it. It's she seems a little too familiar with this place. Or I can't quite put my finger on it, but something was weird about the whole idea of her walking around just I'm going to find a random hot tub. Where's Harkin? It felt so fucking, I don't know.
The whole thing was strange.
Yeah.
And I think everyone was on lewds. It's the only way we can explain this. And then, later when she confronts Harkin and says, I saw you in the hot tub, he says, oh, well, she slipped me something. So he goes on to this drug excuse.
Oh, yeah.
So,
But I think he was lying, though. He was lying. And I was
lying.
like,
he was lying.
They never showed that. Mm-hmm. They didn't establish that.
Don't gaslight Harkin.
Yeah, he totally for sure. It's abusive.
Yeah.
But let's, Eric, you're a man.
Mm-hmm.
So
and I'm not? What the fuck?
Did you say that there was a way that we could drug you and get you to then have sex in a hot tub for hours against your will?
Yeah, I mean, is water considered a drug? Because it would take a whole...
That's all it takes.
A banana, some Flintstone vitamins.
Wow. So easy.
So many vitamins. I don't know what happened. I chewed a thread.
I had bit on that Wilma, and next thing I know,
I bit on the Wilma.
some Austrian guy started massaging me, and I'm pregnant.
And it was
bam, that's witchcraft. So, okay, so
that happened.
That happened.
It's fun. Everyone enjoyed themselves, but everyone's upset with everyone else enjoying themselves.
Yeah.
Squirrel makes inappropriate comments about potentially raping people. It's a crazy night, one for the books. So the next day, they're all a little hungover, and their cure for it is by drinking more beer on the slopes. Because Dan does pull a good one. He is a little feisty in that moment. Because he comes in on a gondola thing or something. And he's like, oh, you guys, I can't ski. I'm not feeling too good. The only cure is beer. He lifts up
Coors Lights being thrown around.
They're like, thanks, Dad.
It's very much like a Coors Light commercial, too. Or I'm surprised Bud's McKenzie, I know that's Budweiser, didn't airdrop in at that moment in the background. I'm with you guys. And that's when we get our infamous showdown between the German Austrian and the good guys, because that's when Rudy announces to the whole world that he fucked Sonny.
Yes.
All the different variety of ways that you can have eggs.
But it was great though because he said that, right, and he got all mad. He was gonna beat him up, and then Dan was the one that said, "Yeah, but he fucked what's her name." Were they together? I guess they were together.
Yeah, I think at some point they again not established and not shown. However, we are led to believe that they are somehow a couple, the Austrian and Sylvia.
Yeah.
Was that
their house?
Well, I think at some point someone in the movie kind of says or alludes to the fact that she likes to sleep with like the better skiers or the rookies or something like that, and
all the skiers. She just sleeps with everyone on skis.
So I don't know if it's that she just likes she's like a star fucker on the slopes where she's just kind of hanging out with like the upper echelon of skiers. I don't know.
She just likes fucking. She likes beauty. And she likes fucking, so she just picks, and she's rich, so she gets to choose whoever she wants to fuck.
Her name is
love that.
Her name is Sylvia Fonda. I mean, don't fuck around when she's around, you know? Like, she calls the shots and you listen.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, but then, Shecky just pointed out, so they're yelling at each other, and Harkin, I don't know if you guys caught this, but he calls him a toe-sucking dickhead or asshole. He says toe sucking as like his insult. He's like, "You toe sucking asshole," which is like very cute. Like, nice try, Harkin.
It's the best he can do. Asshole. He's just a farm boy from Idaho.
Yeah, I mean all he knows is like that Idaho slang. I guess toe sucking out there is like the worst thing ever. But yeah, so this is when we already so early in the movie. This is when we're already having people starting to break away from one another. There's a little bit of tension. That's when we get our infamous showdown between Sonny and Sylvia.
Yes, that brings us to that cat fight in the snow.
Where Sylvia, like you said, Odessa, she's just offering to help, offering to pick her up, and
possibly a three-way.
And which Sonny is just disgusted by. It's like, you would like that, wouldn't you, you sicko, or some shit like that.
Oh, yeah,
I was like, girl, calm down.
Sylvia's just out here trying to like enlighten people. She's very sex positive on this mountain.
Yeah, she's having a good time.
Yeah, Sonny, is not ready for that. She's only 17. She has a ways to go until she gets there.
She was not ready.
She was not ready.
And then like the rest of the movie is like snow ballet, basically.
Oh my god, that was actually that was the best part of the movie for me. Actually,
is that a thing? I gotta look that up. Actually,
I looked it up because I was curious,
yeah.
And apparently that used to be in the 70s and 80s for a hot minute. It was a part of freestyle competitions. And then when they brought freestyle competitions to the actual Olympics, that was the one part of it that they nixed, was the ballets.
I was watching that and I was just like, oh, geez, knee injury. Like they're spinning around and if their ski gets caught, I just like, I could see and hear the ligaments popping. It was just like, wow. Like, do they have to run around there and fluff up the snow and make sure that it's like there's no rocks in there? Because like all it takes is just one little rock and you got a spiral fracture.
I mean, we're four people who know nothing about skiing, so this conversation is going to be kind of hilarious, or I should say, 3 humans and 1 alien that don't know anything about skiing. But I think this is hot dogging. This is all the like weird little funny ballet moves. That's hot dogging, right?
I believe so. I think hot dogging just refers to freestyling out there on the snow. I'm sure I'm sure the mountain is OSHA approved. I'm sure they have like, there's no way that there's rocks on that slope.
There's crazy rocks because later on, when they do the Chinese downhill,
that wasn't approved though. That was true. That was behind the doors. Like that was hush hush. Okay. This one. My knees also, when they were doing, especially when they were doing like the fast one where it's just like, I guess the competition was just like bouncing up and down and going down as fast as you could. My knees were hurting watching that. It's like that. How could any human being like suffer that? That looks so awful. I'm glad
they had the little mounds in the snow and they're just like doot.
I was like, why the fuck would anyone ever like find pleasure and enjoyment doing that?
We learned that those are called moguls.
Yeah, moguls.
Oh, I saw that online, mogul. I didn't know what that meant. Okay. Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is this thing?
To give you some air to play with.
I thought the mogul was just like the guy that owns Amazon.
He's under there. He's in the snow.
I wish.
During the ballet competition, there's one guy, he's not even one of the main guys, who does like a full-on, with his poles, a handstand
He
flip.
does.
And
that was cool.
That guy doesn't win?
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about Rudy or Harkin. That guy should have won that.
No, but the fact that none of these people could ski, I thought was hilarious.
Yeah.
And
the truth of the matter is that none of these stars knew how to ski.
yeah, number one. And number two, like, if you look closely, like, the people's hair changed. I'm like, why does, like the main guy, Hawken, when he was doing some of his stunts, I was like, okay, that's obviously a stunt, man, because his hair is, like, so many shades darker. Like, put a hat on him. I mean, come on. It was just so silly.
Yeah, I think their clothes change, too. Like, you're watching... There's no continuity with their ski uniforms or whatever they're wearing.
I think Harkin...
Maybe
typically say blue a little bit.
Yeah.
That was like
Maybe it was the SD that I was watching, but I totally thought it was them skiing, especially Squirrel.
Who knows?
You thought it was what? I'm sorry.
I definitely thought that Squirrel is doing his own stunts and skiing.
I don't know. That guy.
Special Squirrel.
He was rough to watch whenever he was on screen. I was like, dude, what the hell?
He walked like a gorilla too. When he was walking down the stairs, I was just like, "What's going on with this guy? Is he just acting like an oaf,
or is he?"
He was very uncomfortable to watch. That even like just like little scenes when they're like Rochambeauing for the gondola, and he's like, "Best 2 out of 3." Like everything about him was so miserable. I just wanted someone to kill him.
Yeah, and then at the party when he's all talking to the girls.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, just his pickup lines, and then they would throw shit in his water, like they throw stuff in his face, and he's just like, okay, and it's just like, are you like not realistic that you knew that someone would do that? Like how? What?
His pickup line was, "How about a fuck?"
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, it was weird.
You know what this movie needs? It needs Scotty from Hard Bodies to come in and be like, dude, you don't talk to women that way.
Oh, he would be so good in this.
No, his ass would have froze.
Yeah. I think this movie could have used like anyone else,
anyone to
interject it with like at least one good actor, someone with a little bit more like screen like ability. There was no one in this movie besides Shan Tweed who like I was like happy when they were in a scene.
Oh, David Naughton, I thought was great. You know, he needed like more to do.
I just didn't think. Yeah, they just didn't give him a lot to work with.
Yeah.
I do want to point out too. In the middle of all this, like during the rivalry, there is a scene where Dan and Harkin decide to go to the bad guys' like ski equipment room, and they loosen all the equipment so that when the bad guys go down the ski slopes the next day, they all crash and tumble, which, in my opinion, is like really fucked up.
It's
they
dangerous.
really, they sink to the.
I think that them having Squirrel on their team, like there was a couple times where I'm like, I don't know if these guys are necessarily the good guys. Like there's a few times where I'm like, what, how bad is Rudy really compared to these guys? Squirrel is fucked up. And like getting all their equipment, so then the very next day, and somehow magically all their equipment fails at the exact moment, like.
That was awesome.
The slope, also totally. They all go tumbling
all fall
down.
apart. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well timed.
I could have used some more antics. Like I could have used more rivalry scenes too. Like I think it was that, and when they do the what is that game called?
The broom.
Yeah, broom hockey or whatever.
Broom ball.
Broom ball.
Broom
ball. I've never seen that before.
I would have liked to have seen a few more like back and forth, like sneaky. Well, with like some cool '80s music going on. You know, this movie did have some interesting synth.
Oh yeah, Duran Duran.
Yeah,
that cover from Prince.
Surprise!
That was crazy.
That's what we were thinking. Like that.
Cover
and then the
Prince.
weird Prince cover.
The Prince cover, which
terrible.
I love that song. So it was really that's one of my favorite Prince songs. So it was very heartbreaking to hear that.
Just like a train
Oh, yeah.
There was some good ones where it was a lot of times when Harkin was skiing. I wish I could remember the lyrics now, but it was like some Bryan Adamsy sounding guy over like synths going like, "Take it to the top."
Oh yeah.
One of the lyrics was
like Kenny Loggins.
Yeah. Like it was broke ass Kenny Loggins. One of the lyrics was something about like, "Kiss me on the cheek."
That's what we thought. Brett thought it was Kenny Loggins, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
We're looking right now. We're John Stewart.
Well, kiss me on the tip.
Oh God, just the tip.
Are we investigating the music right now?
I don't know. Yeah, we can talk about music. We can definitely talk about music. But so this probably had a soundtrack released at the time.
I wasn't mad at it. I enjoyed all even like the cheesier synth music at times. It reminded me of someone's interpretation of cheesy 80s movies music, like especially the end scene when they were doing the Chinese Hill. It sounded to me like Tim and Eric's was like doing the soundtrack and that moments like that. Like it sounded like it was radioed in from the future, like retro futuristic ideas.
It sounded ironic to you?
Yeah, it did.
It was so much what it was.
Yeah.
That it was almost ironic.
Thank you. Yes.
Wow.
One of the guys that Hold On, the song Hold On and Top of the Hill.
Top of the Hill, yeah.
was done by Cliff Magnus.
Yeah.
That sounds like a
great
name.
That is an awesome name.
And then there's some guy named John Stewart that did Bringing Down the Moon.
Hey, that's the toughest thing any man has to do in his life. Bring down that
Bring down the moon.
Right, so the Prince cover of When You Were Mine was done by Mitch Ryder, who just has...
the Detroit somethings?
Of the what?
Detroit Rollers or Rockers?
Yeah, okay, that's right. Just has the worst voice to cover Prince.
Yeah, it was Bob Seger trying to do like a Prince cover. It was very uncomfortable.
Yeah,
they're trying to countrify it.
Yeah,
and I don't know what it has to do with skiing at all.
1982. That's when Purple Rain was about to drop. So like I guess he was trying to cash in on that sweet Prince, something. I don't know.
I guess so.
I didn't like it though. I did not like it.
Made me feel funny.
Yeah.
Inside.
I think Squirrel probably loves the song though. Squirrel definitely has that like 12 times on repeat on his iPod.
Oh.
If iPods were around back then. That's what we'll be listening
time
to.
traveler.
But yeah, so then where are we at now? So there's a lot of the back and forth, which weren't too great, but we know that these guys fucking hate each other. And so we get down to like the final competitions, which there's a little bit of amusing moments there because each guy, apparently there's like a guy with a clipboard and like microphone thing at the top of each hill. And so Rudy and Harkin would interact with him. And of course, Rudy's a dick to the guy. He's like, "What are you doing?" And Rudy'd be like, "I am doing this. I'll go when I'm ready." But then Harkin, of course, the sweet angelic Harkin is always like, "Thank you so much, sir. Oh my God, like, can I go down the hill now?" Like,
Golly G. Williams.
Yeah.
Golly G. Williams.
He's just a farm boy with skis.
But then we do get a fun moment because then at the final one, when we think like, "Oh man, is Harkin going to be able to pull it out?" Harkin goes up to the guy and he's like, "What are you going to do?" Which is already weird. Like, I don't think you have to tell ski officials like when you're doing
why do you have to call it?
I think because they want to make sure you actually have control that you're going to do it what you said you're going to do.
Okay.
Like when you call which, in pool, you call which hole you're going to shove your balls in.
Wow.
Not just in pool. In life.
Yeah, always call it before you
always
do
call
it.
it before you dunk it.
I'm scared now. Okay.
So he's about to go down, and the guy's there with his clipboard, looking all official and shit. And he asks him, "What are you going to do?" And he says he's going to do a triple twisty. Is that what? Or a twisty triple? And the guy looks at him like so baffled. And he says, "Are you qualified to do this?"
Yes. Yes.
And Argan, the one time Harkin kind of like gets a little aggro, and it's also like probably the second worst line reading the movie. He looks at him and goes, "I'm gonna do it."
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, that's all he says. Like, you think he's gonna say something more triumphant, like he's gonna tell him like, "Go fuck yourself. I'm the triple twisting master of all time." And Sage looks at him, he's like, Well, I'm going to do it anyways.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna do it. I was like, dude, what?
There's no writers at this point. They've left.
They all committed suicide.
Was largely improvised, so I'm not surprised.
Right.
And the triple twisty McTwist or whatever is just it takes 5 minutes to shoot for us to get through the shots. Just a lot of sky shots of this guy flipping and twisting and turning. I guess probably 3 times.
He does them. He does what he says he's going to do.
He does.
But I totally think that there were like 3 different stuntmen in that scene.
Oh,
and I counted 5 turns. I counted 3 flips and then 2 sideways, and then it stuck the landing. It was weird.
He did stick the landing.
So he's like, I'm going to do a penta twist him up.
Pentagram and a twist him up.
Can I see your license? Do you have a license to? Where are your papers?
I still crack up at the idea this guy is like, well, hold on, where's your credentials for this?
Are you certified?
Do you have a license to thrill?
Wow.
But he does it, and as we've seen throughout the movie, the judges give him good but not great scores, which was the running theme. It seems like they are rigged to, but they never really go into that. Why?
No, they did.
Because it was all
Austrians. One scene. It's because the Austrians and that main guy, they bring the viewers, and David is or Dan or whatever his name is. He's over the hill, so that's why when they cut the 2 people they cut the 2 American skiers for all of the evil guy's team. They got pissed. And when he tells him, he's like, look, the main thing about it is because we have TV coverage, and we have to be able to, they bring in the people. The Europeans bring in the people, and that's why. So the sad thing about the whole movie is the people that were doing the shady shit, they got off scot-free. Because remember, Hawken lost. He lost.
He loses.
Yeah, and it's the Chinese downhill that kind of redeems him, but in the grand scheme of things, the evil guy still got all the endorsements. He still got all the money. So it's like, yay, I won 20.
Still has a trophy.
Yeah, I won $2,300, but I still lost everything. It's like
you can't put Chinese Hill on your resume compared to an actual national competition.
Right. It's like
they're like, well, you didn't win the national competition. Yeah, but I won the fucking Chinese Hill.
Chinese downhill.
I was just like, this is certainly getting super Road Warrior.
My God. And then when they put their fucking all those things on their the spikes and the shit, I was like, what the fuck?
Okay, so we gotta get into that then.
Yeah, it's time.
So it's the big climax. Harkin loses. All of his friends are booing. They're literally saying boo and throwing snowballs at the judges and all that. So Rudy, and then Sonny says something very out of pocket and sassy towards Rudy. So he picks up a huge fucking because he's a massive
he's a monster
of a man. So he grabs a huge handful, a basketball size of snow, and just fucking slaps the shit out of Sonny with it while he speeds by.
Face full of snow.
I actually gasped in that moment. I was like, whoa, fuck. And so in retaliation, all the quote unquote good guys start throwing a bunch of snowballs at all the German Austrians during their celebration party where they're singing their German Austrian national songs.
An Austrian national anthem.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they keep saying Österreich.
Yes, because unless y'all don't know, Odessa is actually fluent in Sieg Heil. So
yeah, that's not what we call it.
No, it's not. Oh, okay. Sorry.
That's definitely not what Jews who speak German call it.
Oh, okay. Sorry. That is my apology. I apologize.
Is that your apology?
That is my apology.
I didn't even hear it.
Well, that was my apology. You're not.
That's kind of what the writers of this film did, because there's so much happening off camera. Okay, so let's back it up to, like you said, there's TV sponsorship. Did you see any TV cameras?
No, I did not.
There's no presence in news or media. Okay, Sonny suddenly after leaving is back. So
Yeah,
Sunny makes up with
they reconcile, but it's only because like I think she gets bored or something being
but
alone.
they don't show it.
Yeah, so
they
she
never
just,
show the
it
reconciliation.
shows her all of a sudden like at the sidelines during his competitions, be like, yeah, go Harkins. So I guess she just was just like, fuck it, like what am I gonna do? Be like bored on this mountain without my friends? Or
Well, she was gonna leave. She was gonna go to San Francisco.
She's never gonna go to San Francisco. Come on, let's get real.
Yeah, she was gonna deuce out, and I was like, "Get it, girl, get it, get your life." And she was like, "Nope, I guess I'm just gonna stay here."
I'm just gonna buy these skis. I'm gonna fall over. I'm gonna get in a fight with Sylvia, and then suddenly I'm gonna be cheering for this guy that I was trying to leave.
Yeah,
she's wearing cool sunglasses during it.
The sunglasses are hot.
Yeah, I wasn't really looking at her too much, but then once she put those fucking sunglasses on near the end, I was like, oh fuck,
stylish.
Yeah, out of nowhere, I was really into the Sunny fantasy once she put the sunglasses on.
It was really crazy.
So the Rudy guy, he fucks up their precious Sunny, so then they retaliate with their snowballs.
Yes.
And so this is when we get to the confrontation where they're nose to nose, and this is when I'm like, Rudy, you should just really like beat the shit out of these people because you can, like, but he doesn't. He refrains. He's kind of a gentleman.
Kinda.
And Dan
kinda.
Dan takes off his sweet old school Mets hat and he requests that Squirrel give him $60 or $50.
40.
Well, he says
50.
50,
yes,
but then
50.
apparently Squirrel like kind of moans. He's like, okay, 40, which is so weird. I'm like,
I love that he's. But I love it. The group Squirrel is the treasurer of the club. It's like, I'm like, okay.
Hard with the money.
And how did he know that Squirrel had 40? Like, why was that? Like, it was that $10 that Squirrel was like, I don't have that.
And they're all on stripper bills. They're just like, what? He makes it rain.
But then they say they're going to do the Chinese downhill.
Yeah.
Which is where we get our infamous line from Yamamoto, which is,
what is the fuck is Chinese downhill?
I wasn't gonna do it. Thank you.
Sorry. I forgive me, all of our friends.
No, I'm glad you did. I didn't.
Forgive me. Yeah. Suddenly he speaks English. He didn't speak English the entire movie, and then.
That right. That's.
Well, obviously the guy was American, and he was like, he just wanted to be in the movie and get a job as an Asian person, and.
Yeah.
Or I don't even know if he was actually, or if he was Japanese.
I think he is Japanese, I think.
Really? Let's see.
So the weird thing about it was, he's like, okay, there's probably like me and like a couple other like 100 like Asian actors. So if I gotta play Chinese, I'll play Chinese. If I gotta play Japanese, I gotta play Japanese. It's like,
sure.
He was like, I gotta get this money.
When I look through his IMDb credits, it is very like, it's transcontinental.
Yeah,
like
James Saito will play any Asian.
Yeah, one of them was Korean store proprietor, bodega proprietor.
Oh, he's so cute. I've seen him in tons of stuff.
He has like a huge list of credits.
Yeah,
he is the most. He's actually probably the most well known of all of them.
Definitely, I would say that for sure. Especially capping out this year with Always Be My Baby.
Working.
He's doing it, man. He's out there making it happen. Ooh, I love that Control F feature.
Yeah.
Looking behind the curtain.
Yeah, I know. I can see what you're trying to tie it to.
He is a monster.
And so what the fuck is Chinese downhill? And that's when we get like this synth, like so cool. It's like, and you get like these wide angle shots of the top of a mountain. You're like, holy shit, it's going down. I love to watch movies for unintentional funny moments. I think we all do. Like you watch a Lifetime movie and you watch it for the unintentional funny moments. What's great is when you're watching a really bad movie and there's an unintentional artful moment, which I got totally from when all of a sudden they're showing the top of the mountain and all of a sudden you see all the like shadows of the skiers appear upon the ridge.
Oh yeah.
I was like, that's like fucking Bergman's like Seventh Seal, like when they're up at the top of the hill during the Dance of Death. I was like, they didn't even mean to, but it was like I was weeping when I saw that. It was so beautiful.
Yeah. But I was also like, and here comes the avalanche.
Yeah. Well, and they all start doing this thing. I don't ski, so I don't know if it's something you do, but they're all taking their poles and they're kind of like tapping like the ridge, getting it all powdery looking.
That was beautiful,
dude. Yeah, I
Yeah,
was like saying that. I was
cool.
like, I like it. Like it looks fucking cool. I don't know if that's what you're supposed to do, but I was into it, man. And everyone's getting suited up, like you said, with spikes and fucking Rudy's putting on
The
like
Road
what looks
Warrior
like
stuff.
Shredder from the Ninja Turtles gear, like. And the announcer, some guy is willing to announce that the rules are there are no rules.
Yeah, there are no rules. There are none.
But
So
that's what pissed me off, though. Because if there's no rules, they should have just started whenever, you know. But they had to wait for the whatchamacallit.
So
Gentlemen rules.
there's one rule.
Yeah. What do we think the pot was on that? How many people do you think were up on that hill?
Well, they said it was like $2,300 is what he won.
Oh, okay.
But the $40 times how many? Well, okay, 2,300 doesn't divide by 40.
No, it doesn't.
So,
well, who was in charge of that squirrel?
yeah.
Oh God.
That's why. Fucking squirrel.
What roughly, you guys, I heard your episode a couple episodes ago and had no idea.
57 and a half people.
I had no idea that there's.
Well, I don't know how much it was. It was like 21 something. I think it was like either 21 or 2,300 because they were like, he won the trophy and this money. Yay!
Okay, so it's 57.5 if it's 23. I mean, if it's 2,300, and 52.5 people if it was 21.
And who has the inflation calculator to see, like, what would that be now?
That's Klingon specialty.
Yeah, that's Klingon.
So like $2,300.
I would fucking murder for $2,300. So
Doesn't take much.
So I
would murder for $40.
Yeah,
What was it? 1984. And then so it's $2,300. Calculate. Nan. What the same? Okay. Oh, I did the wrong year. I said. Okay.
2019.
1984. Yeah, I said year 194. So it's $5,683.
Okay,
So
I would definitely be packing spikes on my shit and like murdering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
I think they did murder one guy because you see him hitting all these boulders and stuff.
That one guy, he's definitely dead.
Yeah, he's so dead.
That guy's fucking dead. I'm sorry. Rest in peace, that guy.
There were casualties.
There were casualties.
Squirrel too that did that.
Was
that slid off the hill and was bouncing off the rocks. Some of that stuff looks like legitimately super dangerous.
Yeah, the guy.
I was kind of scared.
Yeah, somebody hits the top of a tree, which
And,
would
like,
also kill you.
Yeah, that's how Sonny Bono went out.
That's exactly what I was thinking. He was on Vicodin.
Yeah.
So he didn't feel a thing.
And then that guys, I can't remember, like Liam Neeson's wife, and she was also a famous actor. She fell down on a ski slope and died of a brain injury.
Oh shit!
no.
I think I vaguely remember.
Natasha Leone. No, not that one.
She's okay.
Yeah, she just keeps dying over and over.
Yeah, she keeps going down that ski.
Not again.
I would definitely movie.
Natasha Richards.
Yeah.
So dangerous as fuck.
Mm-hmm. I love a good, quick runtime on a movie. This was an hour and 30 minutes, and I still felt like 10 minutes could have been cut from this end race scene. Like, it's a good, bad movie when, like, it's that short and you still want, like, 20 minutes cut from it to make it even, like, quicker.
Yeah.
And I felt like that with this race. There's a lot of scenes where you're just kind of, like, right next to them and you hear a lot of grunts, like, oh, get away. Like,
yeah, and they're, like, poking at each other with their little sticks. And you're just like, you would totally wipe out. But they're probably like glued to a board just next to each other and probably just acting like they're poking at each other, and they're being dragged down like on a sled on the same sled.
Oh yeah.
And they're just like poking each other and acting like they're about to fall down.
I mean, there's so much skiing in this movie, and I think that's kind of like porno for people that are way into skiing.
I guess
ski porn.
Ugh,
and
gross.
it had a really high budget. I mean, for the time, considering it was like a $4 million budget, which is considering the movie.
I can't believe what they made back though. The box office on it, they don't know if it's 17 or 22 million, but the fact that that is insane to me.
It was a fucking hit.
It was a hit.
You guys, I just tried looking up hot dog the movie injuries, and I got Jim Carrey mangles tongue in hot dog accident.
Scary.
And filming Dumb and Dumber.
No.
He had a hot dog injury. Trying Dumb and Dumber.
Mangles tongue in hot dog accident. Oh my god.
Wow. You hate to see it.
Yeah. I hope he was
frozen to a ski lift in first Dumb and Dumber, but managed to chomp through his tongue while filming a hot dog scene.
Oh,
Oh, 36 hot dogs to do that scene. I would die.
I would fucking be in heaven.
There's all the chemicals and preservatives. I think you might be a little poisoned.
He inhaled a chunk of hot dog into his lung.
What the fuck?
Jim Carrey. James, you have to stay safe out there. Man.
Chew your food, man.
I mean, speaking of, we will be doing Once Bitten in the future, so
That's I was just like, what the fuck?
And this has been Hot Dog Injury Corner.
Yeah.
Klingon Vanna White.
So
Meg's tongue.
So everyone's trying to fucking murder each other, and of course, like, it has to be Harkin and Rudy at the front. And Harkin, at one point, we think he's not going to do it, but then he kind of runs through the middle of a restaurant, which you anticipate a scene like that in a ski movie. Boom, they're neck and neck right there at the final finish, and Harkin just pushes him out of the way, grabs that trophy, and what I think is a fucking clean shot right there. When he, like, comes in for that final and grabs that trophy while Rudy falls, I rewinded it 3 times. I thought it was beautiful.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was really cool.
We rewound a part after that.
Well, what part? So Harkin wins. We're celebrating. What did you see that you had to rewind? Because I'm curious.
Dan, because he's an alcoholic, starts basically chugging champagne, and it comes out of his nose.
it was pretty gross.
But didn't he start with his ski mask on? And then he's like, I'm drunk. I have my ski mask on. I'm going to drink without it on.
We have to assume at that point he's already like several bottles into the day.
Yeah. You know? He wears that vest with all the little travel bottles on it.
I think that's what the movie was really about was, we didn't see, but the next scene was the intervention.
Yeah. Then he goes to rehab.
Yeah.
They're like, Dad, we really want you to stop. Oh my God. What if Dan is actually Squirrel's dad?
Dude, I thought about how he looked very fatherly over Squirrel at certain moments.
So he had him when he was like 5 or 6.
We don't know how old Dan is. All that snow preserved him.
Yeah.
I guess so, all the alcohol.
Squirrel has one of those, like, I learned it from watching you.
Oh, I learned it from watching you, Dad.
Dad.
Yeah.
I think Chester the Molester is probably at the intervention.
They're all in rehab at the end.
Yeah.
Sunny, she's like, I got a pill problem.
I think girls got titty problems. It's terrible.
Yeah.
And, they're all celebrating. Rudy goes off defeated. But we all know, as the credits are about to roll, that the true winner of the movie was Sylvia Fonda, a.k.a. Shan Tweed, who continues being rich and fabulous without, I hope, no, drinking problems of her own.
No, she actually died of HIV. It was terrible.
Yeah.
What?
Becky!
Rest in peace. Her fucking funeral would be so sick.
It really would.
Her last will and testament has so many crazy details of how opulent the fucking funeral has to be.
Number one is opulent. People got to be naked. She has to have a Viking funeral rolling down a mountain.
Viking funeral because they have to set a sled on fire and roll it down the mountain.
That does sound pretty cool.
Wearing a Gene Simmons mask.
Oh, God.
A mask with a long tongue,
She has kids with that guy.
Oh, I know. I watched the episodes of Family Jewels.
That's right, Family Jewels.
Yeah.
Her son's an asshole though. Ugh.
Son's a fucking prick. That kick rocks.
Ugh.
What do you expect? Gene Simmons is like the worst human being alive.
Oh, I know. Yeah. That's your dad.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Oh my God, his net worth is $350 million, Gene Simmons.
I was surprised I'm surprised it's not more, honestly.
Huh.
Yeah.
There is so much like memorabilia,
Yeah.
Kiss stuff that like they make Kiss coffins.
Coffins?
Mm-hmm.
For reals?
I am dead serious.
Ah!
I mean, to be buried in or to like sleep in and be like super.
Dead
You know.
end. To be
Whatever,
super
I mean,
dead
that's
end.
up to you. That's
Okay.
the buyer's choice, you know.
Wow. Wow. Do not bury me in a novelty coffin.
Yeah,
that's
sure.
that's
All right.
asked for.
I'll have to
Romy?
return it now.
Yes. You return that gizmo coffin.
Have you seen the
Oh,
mushroom
that's
the mushroom coffins? I guess people can be buried in.
Yeah. They compost you.
Yeah, so
Oh,
cool.
I like that.
You can return to the earth much quicker that way.
Yep. They're like, hey, I'm dead. Eat me.
Mushrooms reminds me of a line that Squirrel has early on when he sees Harkin ski, and he's like, "Dude, that was great. Are you on mushrooms?"
Yeah.
Like, what? Where did that come from?
He's such a dumbass.
That's so fucking funny.
I only ski when I'm on mushrooms, I guess.
Ugh, he is such a dumbass.
Squirrel huffs a lot of glue.
Yeah, he does.
Squirrel is
Squirrel.
Yeah, Squirrel's definitely dead out of any of them.
Oh yeah.
Character Squirrel did not
Oh,
make
yeah.
it to peace.
No way. There's no way
Yeah.
he could survive Darwin's rule, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't think that was zinc oxide he was putting on his face. It actually was glue.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they spitting right off his face.
Which, like, what does that say about the girl then?
The one that goes down on him?
Yeah.
She's
I
super
think
easy.
she was a professional. I think they paid her.
Oh, like his friends.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, they were like, yes,
Yeah.
we're gonna get we're gonna get our special friend laid.
Oh, hey,
Yeah.
we need to
Aw.
get despunk this guy because if
Ugh.
he like doesn't do something soon, like we are gonna like have some legal troubles.
Yeah, he's gonna completely go ape shit and rape someone.
Yeah.
So we gotta channel that into a sex worker.
Squirrel is like a future Reddit like
an
red
incel.
pill. Yeah, like he's a future Trump supporter based on his like
Ah,
inability to have sex. Anywho, so love it.
now that's a girl I could take advantage of. Are you breaking my furniture?
I think I am.
Oh, so-
So
It's fine.
what did everyone think about the movie?
Yeah, where are we? Where
Where
are
are
we?
we?
It's just like it wasn't the worst movie that we watched.
Sir,
It was the worst movie that we watched. What other movie was worse?
moving violations.
Shut up!
I know. Yeah,
that.
moving violations was pretty bad.
No, no.
And then the
This
Not
had
the
beautiful skiing.
I hate you
I like
so
the
much.
skiing a
The
lot.
ski, the ski was all right. We're on the Wikipedia page right now, and I do see that one of the production companies is the Hot Dog Partnership, which I didn't notice in the beginning of the movie.
That's
so that's
what
cute.
we're all, Shecky and Klingon and I are in a hot dog partnership. It's now legal in California.
Hot dog partnership.
Thank you, Gavin Newsom.
Yeah, thanks, Gavin.
Yeah. It's like an LLC, but with different tax implications.
Yeah, and we all sleep in a big bun.
Yeah. Do you guys relish that friendship?
Ay, ay, ay.
Oh,
What's gotten
how
into
you
you?
doing?
Yikes. Yikes.
So yeah, I mean, I started really like questioning everything in this movie, and then eventually I did just join the reality.
Yeah.
But a lot of it has to do with watching it with Shecky, because Shecky was like, "What is this? What is this movie?"
Out of 10 hot dogs, how many hot dogs do you give this movie?
I give this movie like 4 hot dogs and 1 like little not dog,
Okay, like
Yeah.
a little smoky.
a little smoky.
No,
No, not like a vegan corn dog. 1 little vegan corn dog
I
bite.
can't. I can't.
Like,
I give it 6
Yeah.
hot dogs, but no buns.
No
Okay.
buns.
Yeah.
I can't with this movie.
You have no hot dogs to give.
I have no hot dogs to give.
Oh, that's sad.
Well, Eric,
I give probably 3 or 4 hot dogs, sauerkraut in honor of Rudy.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, fully loaded.
Full-
Fully loaded.
Just like I love my Herbies.
Your herpes?
Herbies. You bastard.
Herpy the love bug.
That would be so good. Herpes fully loaded.
Herpes
Like a
fully loaded.
PSA thing. Herpes I am herpes fully loaded according to my doctor. Oh shit.
See what this movie's done to us?
It's scary.
We've all got a little squirrel in us now.
Do not watch this movie.
So literally.
Yeah.
Just a little, just the
Just
tip.
a tiny one. We're doing the Richard Gere thing. We got a little squirrel in us.
Little squirrel.
That did come to my mind while watching this, because there was so much sex, is like reading about god damn it, you know, they have the Olympics and stuff, and how they have the Olympic villages. One of the things I read way back when was like how many condoms that they had to get for the Olympic village.
I'd heard that too.
What?
Yeah, because
They're
they're you know, yeah, all of these people from all over the world, they're all in top form, they're all very young, and they just get together, and it's just like out of control fucking constantly.
Yeah,
No,
I'm not surprised.
I remember reading that. Speaking of STDs, like that there is like a huge like STD outbreak at one of the years. I remember like there was like a huge report on it at like the freaking Olympic Village.
Oh no!
Yeah.
So they all left with like syphilis or something?
And the bronze.
And the
Yeah.
Olympic Village stocked with 110,000 condoms. CNN.com.
Fuck yeah,
Damn.
people
It's
gotta
like,
fuck.
well, stopped.
Well, did you hear? I guess the dating apps nowadays, the dating apps like can't handle, you know, certain large events because people are just they're just
Oh.
yeah
They get overwhelmed or something.
yeah
Oh, like the grinder and the
Tinder and shit like
Tinder,
Tinder and
the
shit.
stuff
They
with the GPS in it.
yeah
Yeah.
they can't handle it. They can't handle
I
it
get
because
that.
people are
Yeah.
trying to get laid. You know.
I can't handle it. I can't handle all these Olympians just fucking.
I can only think about it for like 6 hours at a time.
Yeah.
In 2016 in Sao Paulo, a record-breaking 450,000 condoms were provided.
Wow. Wow.
That's pretty good.
Damn.
Yeah, honestly, if you're in the
Probably
condom
smelled like
business.
burning rubber.
Oh, just garbage cans full of jizz. Okay, you know what? Stop the shades.
That's the name of my biography.
Oh wow, the Eric story.
Garbage can of jizz.
My life, the trials and tribulations.
The Eric Wynn story.
In 1988, there was only 8,500.
Bad year for.
Yeah, people weren't feeling it. Literally.
Well, they just didn't even think about it then, and they were just like, "What's up with all these pregnancies and STDs after the Olympics?"
I think that's when Platoon came out. Everyone was kind of bummed.
Oh.
I can see that.
Unsexy. Yeah. So this was a real adventure, cinematic adventure, and but I as a big fan of the movie Ski School with Dean Cameron, I think it was important to see this movie because this kind of it was a precursor, to all those ski movies that followed it.
Yeah, which were much funnier.
It was missing like that Dean Cameron sort of presence. Like that's what I needed. That's what I was, and so that's why I apologized. I saw the poster for this movie, and it looked like the kind of movie that's gonna have like almost too many Dean Camerons, but there was none to be found.
So true. Yeah, so he would have been like a super sassy trickster.
Yeah, exactly.
Character.
It's all good though. You know, we hot dogged.
We did. We put it in our mouths.
What I enjoyed most about the movie was the vegan hot dogs that were served to me by Odessa. That was the best part of the movie.
Same here.
You're welcome.
Got a whole tray of them.
I highly recommend vegan corn dogs.
Yep.
Yeah.
So and I love it. So that was the movie. Go see it at your own risk.
Go ski it at your own risk.
Oh, fuck.
This is bad. This is bad
Good.
radio. Okay,
great.
so
I give that one 10 hot dogs.
Oh,
all
thank
bunned
you.
up and
I'll
everything.
take them at once.
Just like mother taught you.
So, Eric, aka Eric the Wynn,
thank you.
Of Goth Yearbook.
Of Goth Yearbook.
Yeah,
yes.
where can people find more of you?
People out in the streets, huddled in my dumpsters
Working
with my
it.
jizz. You can find me on Instagram at Goth Yearbook, and you can listen to my show Goth Yearbook every Monday on krjf.org. Again, that's krjf.org. And if you live in Sonoma County, you can catch it on 92.3 FM Santa Rosa. Of course, Odessa here was one of my very first guests on one of my favorite episodes. So you can go on to Mixcloud, go to mixcloud.com and find Goth Yearbook, and you can find her episode and many others. Goth. Yeah, it's a fun show. I just have guests on, and they bring the music that they grew up on from, their formative years, and we break them down, both the good and the bad and the hot dog.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent. And then, so we're Speakeasily. We do Speakeasily Hour Minute podcast, which you already know if you're listening to this thing. And, Speakeasily Hour Minute podcast. Type that into Facebook and just see what happens. You can join our special people's group where we'll be talking more hot dog, probably.
Talk dog.
No. Talk dog. So yeah, we got more great movies coming. People keep submitting and letting us know what trashy ass movies we should watch. Hopefully they're better than this one.
Oh,
I want to do Cherry 2000 to see if it's as good as I remember.
Yeah. A friend of mine is a video game nerd, and he picked up a couple games I haven't heard of. There's a movie called Joystick.
I've seen that one, and that is a classic.
Yeah, it's Joystick, and then there's
underage sex.
And then there's Up the Creek.
Up the Creek.
Don't know that one.
Yeah, Up the Creek. I watched the trailer, and it's literally, I guess in the 80s, real quick, I know we're trying to wrap up, but in the 80s, there was a lot of comedies about sports. Because we have like Hot Dog, we had a couple football movies, but I guess it's kind of universal. This one is about whitewater rafting, the whitest thing you can see. No black people, of course, but it's literally almost everyone who was in Animal House came back and did this movie. It's crazy.
So it's like it's like a rompy, like it's not like River Wild. It's like a comedy one.
Yeah, it's a comedy in which they're all trying to win this race. And of course you have like the crazy military guys, and their military boat, but it's all a whitewater rafting competition. The whole movie is about this competition. So it's like, it sounds awesome. And I watched the trailer. The trailer looks kind of funny. So, and I was like, remember Stephen Frost is in it, who was the chubby guy? I think I got his name right. He was a chubby guy in Animal House, who's dead now.
Okay, yeah. Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, but he literally plays the same character, so it's kind of like, okay.
He's always the chubby guy.
Yeah, the chubby kind of nebbish guy,
Yeah.
Naive, like, I want to come join your guys' team.
Yeah, but
right.
But I think it's like almost everyone who was in Animal House is in this movie, so that's one of the ones I want to see. So.
Well, keep the ideas coming, and you can send them to us on our Facebook Special People's Club. Or you can find us at speakeasily.tv, and you can spam us at speakeasily@gmail.com. And where else are we?
I don't know.
Places
and things.
We're under your bed.
Shit. We are under your bed right now.
So that's what that is. Okay.
Yes. You just heard a bunch of complaining coming from under your bed. That was us.
Some people with a broom saying, "Shut up! Quit your masturbating! I gotta go to sleep. We're trying to record a podcast."
Oh, and we're on Instagram as well, but for some reason under the name @Audra Wolfman with 2 N's. It's just
some
funny
weird
character
lady
I like to play.
Some weird lady stole our stuff.
Yeah, so not sure what's up with that, but you can also find us there and send us ideas. And we've gotten some good ones. We have a master list going.
Do you guys know what your next episode's gonna be?
Nope.
Oh, we will not reveal that at this time
because we don't know.
We don't know. We don't know.
My lips are sealed, listeners.
Sure. I got the hot dog for you. Join our hot dog partnership. All right. Thanks for listening to Speakeasily versus the 80s, where the men are men and the sheep are afraid of heights. They're afraid of heights.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because they don't like skiing very much. Thank you. Good night.
Quite like the top of the head. Don't you try to catch me, your mind. You don't keep up, you won't catch up.